guys.
Here we are at Camp Hanging Chicken. We've got our clothes dangling from a dead tree. We are getting ready to embark on our adventure back down to the river. We were lucky to find this camp last night. It was almost dark. We found a pretty good spot with lots of soft sand. All this was very wet. It's hard to tell where the water is flowing. I don't think it was flowing up this high. Plants are flattened. They've been very recently run over with water. This is the riverbank we were looking at last night. We probably stood about right here. We're trying to probe the depths to see how deep it was. And that's how deep it was. Look at the plants, all completely flattened by that current. That water was probably well over 10 feet deep last night. It was all the way across, remember? You couldn't tell that there was much of a bank on either side.
Came up probably, the water level probably came up to about right here.
Actually, no, I think it went right here because it's still really wet right here.
This whole area was completely filled with water yesterday evening when we arrived. I think where I'm walking right now was underwater. It's a little crazy. How deep is it? Decently deep still. Yeah, I got quite a few in mine as well. Decided we needed to cross here. Not sure the trail's too distinct. Sort of figuring it out as we go. So at this point we didn't really understand how much the flash flooding the last couple of days had changed the canyon. And all these sandbars and things, unless the trails were on pretty high ground, they got wiped out if they were anywhere near the stream.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool end to that canyon, huh?
Yeah, it is.
What do you think, 25 feet, 20 feet?
Yeah.
I didn't start my watch when we left our camp, but my watch right now says 1.1 miles.
So Escalante Canyon is beautiful. It's wider, with tall sides and things that you can see a little farther in the distance than Death Hollow. Okay, so this was our first really good experience with quicksand on this trip. The flash flooding left a lot of it behind, I think. And I'm going to mute the sound here because I am a little embarrassed about how much I panicked in the quicksand. The whole rest of the group had gone ahead, and I got stuck. What happened is I started to feel the shoe get sucked off the bottom of my foot, buried like a foot down in this deep sand, and I was afraid I was going to lose my shoe, and so I froze, and while I froze I could feel myself slowly sinking deeper and deeper into the sand. So then I started panicking about my nice camera and my phone and other things that I foolishly did not have waterproofed very well, and so I called back for help for some people to come gather my electronics. After that I was able to reach down and pull my shoe off my foot so that I didn't lose it, but it was a little bit scary for me for a minute, and I did get a little panicky because this is the first time I ever sort of felt myself sinking in quicksand. Very exciting. That's an unpleasant feeling, to be standing still, feeling stuck and sinking inch by inch every moment.
We may have already passed the first beaver pond. Oh. It may have been washed away in the flood.
So with quicksand down in the river a lot, we tried to stay out of the river as much as we could, but that meant there was some pretty good bushwhacking to do. But you know, we had to pick which one we wanted to contend
That was
with.
interesting medical advice,
And
Becky.
I was not excited to get back in quicksand again. I had not brought a very good pair of shoes and was worried about losing them every time we got into some quicksand.
We walked through something itchy, didn't we? Something itchy and rashy. All right. Side stream here, as we are crossing.
Rest in peace.
Don't step on a frog.
I'm 80% sure, maybe 70% sure that this was one of the beaver ponds right here.
Okay. Definitely beaver chewed logs. And we're speculating that the beaver dams might have washed away in the flash flood. So that could be. Okay.
So walking in the river alternated between like firm sand, quicksand, and then sometimes rock. But you really couldn't tell until you put your foot down. The other trouble, because the water is so muddy, the other trouble with the water being so muddy is we planned on filtering it to drink. But we realized we couldn't filter this, it would clog our filters right up. So we had hoped that there would be cleaner water when we got to Death Hollow, and there was, thankfully. It's still filtered brown, but nothing like the Escalante River, which is just muddy.
Again, you can see that with the flash flood that came through 2 days ago, this was all underwater. It's a little crazy. Is this it, Mike? That's remarkable how much cleaner the water is.
I told you it would be clean.
I kind of didn't believe you. That's weird.
We are. We're going down.
Death Hollow. That is crazy. Death Hollow, here we come. Escalante, Death Hollow.
Very safe. Like that.
Oh, look at water bottle.
These broadleaf things could be poison ivy, but I don't think they are.
I think that's poison ivy.
Poison ivy leaves come in groups of 3, which these sort of do. So I'd be careful. Stay away from those broadleaf things. I don't know if
So
it's
Death
poison ivy
Hollow
or
did
not.
bring a new challenge, and that was poison ivy. Sometimes we ran into quicksand in the stream. We had to choose between that or trying to fight our way through the poison ivy on the bank. Not always a great option there.
Whoa, that's neat.
Snake.
It's a garter snake. Catch it.
Hey, Becky, you're on camera. Turn around. Yeah.
Grab it.
Stop throwing it. No! Do not! I don't want it.
I want to hold it.
You're a psycho, Mike. There you are with the snake. Nice.
Alright, we're gonna let it go.
Okay.
Is that normally there?
Wasn't there last time.
Not too slippery, actually. Oh, I say as I slip. Having fun with holes in the rock.
Did you see me fall right there?
Yeah.
So the sections of stream bed that were solid rock did have sometimes
Yeah, it
deep
does look like a good
holes in them, or even like sort of deep canyons in them. We had to be real careful, or we could fall and stumble.
Okay, Natalie?
I can't reach the bottom.
You can't reach the bottom?
And it goes sideways a little bit.
It's a pretty good place to film.
Storm clouds, a little bit of sprinkling caused us to turn around. We didn't make it as far as we wanted to, but we wanted to err on the side of safety. So we did.
Yeah, we didn't make it to any of the famous
Still
narrows
beautiful.
in Death
Still
Hollow,
a
which
lot
we
of
felt
fun.
kind of bad about, but with the
wanna
destruction
be
we saw
safe.
in the canyon before from the flash floods, when it started sprinkling on us, we thought we were going to turn around. We knew we had a lot of ground to cover before we got back to our campsite. But, you know, then the sun
Alright,
came
Scott.
back out, and so we played in the waterfall one more time before heading back.
Well, we had a good lunch break. We think this might be poison ivy. It's supposed to be all in this canyon. We're not sure. Let's see what Scott does.
I have a feeling Scott with his love of water. Especially because I'm sometimes holding my walking stick in my left arm, left hand.
Back to the confluence with Escalante. For further proof of the crazy flash flood, the Escalante River is like way lower than it was this morning. You can see this sandbar thing. I couldn't. But the Death Hollow River looks about the same. It's rather fascinating and crazy that all that sagebrush down there has clearly had a current pushing against it, which means that the flash flood that came through 2 days ago completely covered this entire plain and had enough of a current to be pushing those bushes. I think that's crazy. There's some seriously ambitious beavers that have been working on this tree. I mean, that's a big tree. and they're trying to take it out. I guess they abandoned ship.
That was so scary. I literally just fell in all the way to my butt.
Was it quicksand? Is it
Little trickle. Uh-huh.
Because we came up that way.
This is better. Truth. On our way back up. Some people came down that slope. Other of us came down around the corner and kind of a canyon thing. We're trying a different way up. We think it might be easier. A loaf of bread, broken window. So the red canyon there is where there was waterfalls on the way in. That's where we'll end up. And then about a half-mile walk up a dirt road to where our car is.